This is a simple trigger guide in less than 5 minutes, and let's get right into it. Let's start off with talking about Trigger's mechanics. The top left bar, as you can see, is called Purge, and it is essential to her off-field stunning. You can hold the basic attack to fill it up, and usually 4 shots will give you the full Purge bar like so.
Ether vision activate.
1, 2, 3, 4. During the whole basic, you also have one auto dodge that has a CD of every 8 seconds, like so.
Adjusting for wind.
And then you can quick assist into your DPS, like so. As you can see, her finishing shot, 2, 3, 4, lets you swap into your quick assist. Once your Purge bar is full, you can basically swap out to your DPS. And Trigger will do off-field days to the target when you do basic, EX or ult. Trigger is essentially an off-field stunner, and you won't really be using Trigger much on-field. The Purge bar also lasts for an incredibly long time, as you can see. It's barely depleting her Purge bar.
What you deserve.
You can also use Trigger's EX special, and the bar will turn yellow. When the bar is yellow due to the EX special, you can do 4 off-field attacks without her Purge bar. 6
My bullets
if you use the
are one
ult.
with the wind.
You can stack them both and make 10 off-field attacks with yellow harmonizing shots. Now, yellow harmonizing shots are important because they don't share a cooldown with the blue harmonizing shots, which means...
Recalibrating.
Let's give it a
Down
test.
strategy. Leave it to me, Ed. The melody of combat.
As you can see, they are stacking, and Trigger is doing so much off-field days.
Hit the core.
Absolutely
Right on cue.
diabolical. Trigger also has an additional ability that gives her an increased 35% stun damage multiplier, but get this, it also applies on unstunned targets, which means it also applies outside of stun windows, which is pretty insane.
Wind speed and direction.
Now let's talk about Trigger's rotations.
Down strategy.
Trigger isn't that hard to use. You basically hold
Ether
basic,
vision activate.
charge your Purge, finisher, swap into your DPS, and start going ham with the stuns. And then once in a while, you use your EX and your
This
ult,
bullet will reach its mark.
swap back into your DPS, and just enjoy all the off-field stunning that you're doing right now.
Time to pin
Off balance.
Now let's get into her drive disc. Before we talk about her drives, let's talk about some stats. Basically, you want to be aiming for 90% crit rate, so you can get the additional abilities days to the maximum. 90% crit rate will give you 75% more days, which is absolutely bonkers. Maximizing her damage isn't all too important, but if you do want to maximize more of her damage, you know, aim for the usual stuff like crit damage and attack percentage. But for most people, that really shouldn't matter. You should really just focus on the dazing and the crit rate. Her best in slot sets are basically 4-piece Shockstar Disco and 2-piece Woodpecker Electro. Her off-field attacks trigger the Shockstar Disco's effect as they count as basic attacks. For piece 4, you want crit rate. For piece 5, you want electric damage bonus. And for piece 6, you want impact. Now let's get into her W engines. Her signature is without a doubt the best W engine for Trigger. A note that the Spectral Gaze also gives defense shred by 25%, which is huge. It also gives you a ton of crit rate and a ton of impact. The best F2P option is the Precious Fossilized Core. It is nowhere near as good as a signature because it doesn't exactly increase the damage for the team, but it's still pretty decent, especially for F2P. Trigger pretty much works with, if not all, most teams. As of now, her best meta team is pretty much Sanbi, Trigger, and Astra Yao. You can pretty much replace Astra with any sustain or any support if you don't have Astra, especially Nicole. If you don't have Sanbi, Harumasa works really well as well, same with Soldier 11 and Nekomata, and you get the idea. She's pretty flexible and she works with all, if not most teams. All in all, Trigger is a really good off-field stunner for sustained DPS characters or DPS units that really enjoy a lot of on-field time. I hope this quick trigger guide helped, and I'm just going to enjoy these top quality animations. See ya, bye-bye.